What if I told you that a book about love, family, and loss could break your heart and piece it back together all at once? The book that I'm going to talk about today is from one of my favorite authors of all the time, The Lowland by Jhumpa Lahiri. Little tidbit, this is the second copy that I have of the book. If you are following me on Instagram, you would have seen my other copy in my bookshelf videos or on my bookshelf, but this is a second copy that my husband bought for me, thinking I already do not have this book in my bookshelf, although I have read it few weeks back and I already was cherishing it so much. He didn't know and he got me this really nice paperback copy that I have. And what do you know, I do enjoy its very pretty cover, one that depicts the story very well. With that said, let's get into today's video. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pooja at A Book by the Window. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are reading good. Today, I feel that slowly it's getting a little bit cooler. It is still very warm, very hot. But I'm sure with the weeks approaching, suddenly we are going to be on the onset of winters with the festivities approaching. I already see a kind of crisp in the air that happens around mid-October, early November. So it's going to be really fun to see. Probably not going to be here to see the entire of winter here in India, but for those who are going to enjoy the festivities, I only have good wishes for you, and may you get to eat really nice food, may you get to spend a lot of good time with your family. The shebang. I'm going to be in the US by the time that happens, unfortunately, but I'm still going to try and make what of the festivities that are approaching. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I am Pooja. I'm a 30-year-old software engineer. I talk about books here on this channel. I also have a main channel that's going to be linked in the description box below. And my Instagram is also going to be in the description box below if you want to check that out. If you're an old subscriber just tuning in for this week's video, I welcome you back. I have been receiving a lot of warm comments, a lot of healthy conversations on these videos, and I do take it as a support. So I am always heart-warmed. I'm always feeling so grateful to have this community with me and talk about books the way I want to talk about them. Let's dive into today's video. I'm going to talk about a very favorite book of mine, one by my very favorite author, Jhumpa Lahiri, The Lowland. And what is this book about? What are its highlights, its lowlights, things that particularly spoke to me the most? We'll dive into everything in a little bit. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of chai. We are going to have a lot of fun talking about this book. Starting off, Jhumpa Lahiri is a name in literature that needs no introduction. She is known for her elegant prose and very nuanced storytelling. And why I particularly like her writing is because she has this knack for turning mundane, ordinary moments into something monumental, and I've always liked to believe that it is the small things that make up the big things in your life. So her writing, her stories really speak to me, and that is why I find myself reaching out for each of her books. And Lowland, this might just be one of my favorites by her. This book is set in the very turbulent landscape of 1960s Calcutta and the quieter streets of Rhode Island in the US. The Lowland is a story about two brothers, Subhash and Udayan, whose lives take dramatically different paths. One becomes involved in radical politics, while the other chooses a much quieter, more traditional life. What follows is a very heartbreaking exploration of family, sacrifice, and the haunting effects of a grief that roots itself within your entity. You are bound to carry it throughout your lifetime. As I said, the novel follows the lives of the Mitra brothers, Bhash and Udayan, who grow up inseparable in a lowland neighborhood of Calcutta. But as they grow older, their differing choices lead them into divergent paths, one that's going to be polar opposite of each other. Udayan becomes politically radicalized during the Naxalite movement, while Subhash wants to lead a quieter life, so he leaves for the US to pursue further education, and that's when their landscape totally starts differing, and we'll find out later in the book how these minuscule effort in the path of life that each of them choose will shape their destiny, not only theirs but their family's destiny. Having said that, the Noland is not just a family saga. It is a story about the weight of responsibility, the complexity of grief, and the consequences of choices we do not fully understand until it is too late. One of the most powerful themes in the book is that of displacement, not just physical as Subhash moves from India to the US, but also as a consequence the emotional displacement that each one of them faces. Each character is grappling with a sense of loss and longing for a life they cannot have. Whether it is Gauri, who is trapped by her past, or Subhash, who has to make sacrifices to carry on his brother's legacy. The lowland itself, the marshy terrain where the brothers grew up, serves as a metaphor for memory and loss. It's a place that's hard to escape, always pulling them back into the past, much like the emotional undercurrents that continuously flows throughout the novel. Talking a bit about the characters of the book, Lahari's character in this particular novel are very richly drawn. They almost feel like real people who you would meet on the street or get a chance to have a personal chat with. They are flawed, they are complex, and they sometimes make decisions that are very hard to understand. But we as humans ever so often arrive at decisions that we also do not understand in hindsight. But that is the beauty of the book, that is the beauty of the characters, that is what makes these characters very compelling. Bhash, the younger of the brothers, the quieter of the two brothers, is fascinating because of his inner strength. He is a man who is constantly doing the right thing, but his quiet sense of duty comes with its own emotional weight. He's not just a passive character in the story, he is deeply affected by the choices that he makes in the narrative and by the choices that are imposed on him as a duty of being a member of the family. While Gauri, Udayan's widow, is equally compelling and complex. Her guilt, her distance, and her constant need to escape her reality makes her one of the most interesting characters that Lahari has ever written. You will find yourself agreeing to some of her emotions even though you do not fully root for them, and in my honest, humble opinion, that is what makes her very human. And when I read about her emotions, the turbulent feelings that she is going through, I could relate as a woman, I could relate as someone who is also very emotional, and it's not just a factor of switching yourself and trying to lead a different life. People who have always been tangled in tradition, and that is what they understand, it is difficult for them to bring a change in their outlook, and Gauri's characters portrays that very well. There is a stark contrast to Subhash and Gauri's thinking, and it is very well depicted in Lahari's characters. Again, I feel Jhumpal Lahari also has genius talent to bring all these extreme emotions under one roof, under one novel, and you are made to feel very conflicted in the face of it. And then there is the final character, Udayan. His presence in the novel feels like a ghost. Even after his death, his decisions ripple through each member's lives. It ripples through every chapter, shaping the lives of Subhash and Gauri and a daughter he never knew existed. Now, talking about the writing of the book, this is my favorite part of the book and the review. Jhumpal Lahari's writing is very lyrical. It has prose of its own. She has a very unique style of writing, one that makes you move from within, and it is nothing short of being exquisite. It is one of the reasons I love her so much. She has a certain way of writing that is deceptively simple, but it always carries so much of emotional weight. Her language is elegant, clear, and concise. She really doesn't need a grand gesture or flowery paragraphs to make you feel something from within. The emotions are going to seep through the quiet moments, the awkward silences, the unspoken regrets, and the longing glances. Every single sentence feels very deliberate, as if it is intended to make you move, but in a very subtle manner. Particularly this novel, the structure of the novel jumps between past and present. It certainly does create a slow burning tension. You know something tragic is coming, but until it happens, you do not understand when, and when it does, it is going to take you by a punch. It is like a punch in your gut. Personally, for me, reading this book, The Lowland by Jhumpa Lahiri, was nothing short of an emotional roller coaster. It is one of those books that make you pause and reflect after every chapter. This is one of the books that have stayed with me so far. It reminded me that even beyond your own personal aspirations and a selfishness, particular kind of selfishness that is so ingrained in the human psyche for our own survival, it is also important to take a look around you and take on some duties that you are embodied with just by the nature of your being. It also helped me understand grief in a different kind of manner when I was faced with a personal grief of my own. It reminded me that the good and the bad can exist together, and it could be decades before things change. Life is also very big, it is also very small, and with that emotion, you have to keep going on, keep doing your duty, keep living the moments of someone who is not present with you today, but also make a life out of the life that you have survived. Subhash's sense of responsibility, Gauri's attempt to escape her own reality, and chaotic choices all felt too real to me. I found myself empathizing with each character in different parts of the story, and in the end, I was truly in awe of the fact that how beautifully Jhumpa Lahiri captures the messiness of life in such simple and subtle words. It is not just that the story moved me, it is the way that Lahiri layers every scene with so much meaning. Even the most ordinary of moments like Subhash walking on the beach or Gauri staring out a window carries an emotional resonance that stays with you. In conclusion, I have to say this is one of the books that I thoroughly enjoyed reading. I highly recommend to anyone who want to move ahead in their journey of reading Jhumpa Lahiri or more books from Indian literature, not just her very popular novel Namesake. This is second in the list for me, I would like to say that. And indeed, it was an emotional journey for me about love, loss, and familial ties, the feeling of certain loneliness that we feel all throughout our lives. Even with our partners, even with ourselves, even while having a family, we are bound to feel lonely every once and often, depending on our circumstances and how do we behave, how do we react when we are faced with that reality, is what this book taught me in a way. It's deeply moving, it's heartbreaking, and somehow it still leaves you with a sense of hope by the end of it all. If you're a fan of Jhumpa Lahiri, or if you're a fan of offbeat books, or if you're someone who enjoys character driven stories that explores complex emotional landscapes, this book is a must read. And if you are new to Jhumpa Lahiri, let this book be a gateway towards a new journey that you're going to find out with Jhumpa Lahiri's writing and her books. I honestly would like to give this book a 5 out of 5 stars and leave you with a quote that I think captures the essence of the novel very well. The things that had once mattered had become irrelevant, and the things that hadn't had become what mattered most. This is the kind of book that changes your viewpoint, that changes the way you look at the world, even for the littlest and tiniest of things. And with this said, we are at the end of this video. If you have stuck by so far, thank you so much for sticking by. I honestly am always humble and grateful for the love and support this channel is getting. If you have any thoughts to add to the discussion that I had today, I will really appreciate it. I try to reply to all the comments, so I will do that. And is there any other book from Jhumpa Lahiri that you have enjoyed a lot or it has impacted your life? Let me know in the comment section below. I have read almost every book by Jhumpa Lahiri, but if there is something that is missing, if there is something that has missed my radar, I would honestly like to get my hands on it. With that said, please like the video if you like it, comment down below, share it with your friends and family, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you are having any fun watching these videos. I will see you guys next time. Until then, happy reading.